Hear me out. I'm not here to bash One Piece. In fact, One Piece is one of my favorite anime series of all time. I've been literally watching it since 6th grade, so I've watched it through all of middle school, high school, and at the trajectory we're going, probably college too. I say that to highlight I have a lot of love for this show, so I wouldn't want to just aimlessly hate on it. And even the best of shows have their flaws. And in this video, the flaw I'm going to talk about are the female character designs in One Piece. Something that I can say about the female characters compared to a lot of other shonen, and especially shonen of its time, is that when it comes to writing, the One Piece girls are extremely well developed. While Sakura's first defining moment is when she cuts her hair in a fight despite her crush supposedly preferring longer-haired women.
Is it true what I heard? You like Sasuke too? So, I guess that means we're rivals from now on.
It's not meant for you. What the?
Nami's is when she stabs at her captor's mark etched in her skin in anger, and when she finally turns to her friends to help her and her village. And Robin's moment, well, that's my favorite moment of the series. I feel like this can be partially attributed to the fact that One Piece has no romance or ships written into it. Therefore, the woman can't be reduced to love interests for the male protagonist. In fact, when an interviewer asked Oda about relationships, he answered that the crew was in love with adventure. I say this to mention that it's incredibly unfortunate that such great writing get paired with this. And the thing that sucks is the characters didn't always look that way. At the start of the series, the characters had relatively normal proportions, which makes the descendants into madness even more apparent. However, I want to be clear that the characters don't have to be proportionate or have realistic bodies. I'm not saying that. I definitely don't think the men have realistic bodies, and in some cases, the men are even more exaggerated than the female characters. However, they are still very diverse and original. To show a character design that is successful with an itty-bitty race, I introduce you to Meg Hercules, one of my favorite character designs.
Nice shooting, Rex.
I can't believe.
Looks like your game's over. Wonder Boy's.
And look at her waist. It's extremely small, but her design is still appealing. And those are the main problems I have with the way Oda draws most of his women. Not only is it not really an appealing design choice, it's given to practically every female in the show. And before you tell me that's not true, look at Big Mom, Lola. There's a couple of exceptions to the rule, but those aren't it. First of all, a woman is either given this body shape or just completely grotesque. There's no middle ground. It is your basic, choose your fighter. But all the main women have this body, and if we're going to be honest, a lot of them even have the same face. Now, I'll admit the face problem isn't as bad as the body one, but it's still present. Vivi, Rebecca, Nami, and Kami all practically have the exact same face. And that's just from the top of my head. That problem almost never occurs with the male characters. Sword Art Online is another anime that's criticized for having same face syndrome. The thing is, the difference between the genders is less obvious. One Piece is a show that is very cartoonish and loves to exaggerate proportions, so the difference in approach to when a female character is designed compared to a male is widely apparent. What's even more disheartening is knowing that Oda clearly has the ability to make a cast of gorgeous and diverse female characters, but just chooses not to. Look at Robin's first introductions. First one. She looks amazing. And look how unique your face shape is. And don't forget Perona. These are a couple of the exceptions, but they do not make the rule. However, this still only applies to the face thing because their bodies are exactly the same, even if their faces do diverge from the norm. While the men's bodies and faces are always very distinct. In another interview, he's actually been asked about the designs. He admits that he's gotten a lot of angry fan mail from female One Piece readers. And this also shows that it's not just the Western fans wanting to ruin anime. Some women of Japan, where One Piece is produced, also expressed annoyance at how women were depicted in his manga. I'm going to read a summarized, translated excerpt from one of his interviews. He believes One Piece is exclusively tailored to teenage boys, shonen, and therefore avoids romance and death scenes as much as possible. He also rejects the requests from female audiences because they are not his target audience. For example, he gets a lot of complaints from women because of the way he draws female characters. He got a request from a woman to remove shin hair from Sanji because she thought it makes him look less attractive, etc. So Oda practically doesn't really consider his female fans of his work as he does his male fans. At least he's being honest. He pretty much says this is for boys and boys only. You can watch it too, but don't expect your opinion to actually carry any weight. Here's another quote from one of his interviews. I approached it thinking that since I'm drawing for a boys' comic magazine, then it's my job to make sure they enjoy what they're reading. When you actually do become a professional, you'll start getting fan letters and other things, and you'll soon find out that the overwhelming majority of them are from girls. Boys just aren't the type to pick up a pen. Haha! They don't have things like stationery or stamps, and they don't think about going through the grueling task of writing someone just to say that was cool. Boys are a life form that enjoys something but won't bother to tell you that they actually do. So just by reading this, it's pretty clear that despite Oda having a very large female fan base that's into male, he has rationalized that the reason he doesn't get a lot of mail from male fans is because writing letters is a girl thing. Granted, this is Japan, and I'm not fully informed on their specific gender rules, so this could be a natural belief. But fellas, is it gay to be literate? Sexism is kind of disappointing. Do I think Oda will ever improve and diversify the female characters he designs? No. He doesn't really respect women in real life. He doesn't respect his fans. And that's clearly reflected in his work. You can learn a lot about an artist based on what they produce. The limited design the female characters have, the options to be either perfect or grotesque. Is it that big of a stretch to say he may put women in real life in those boxes too, compared to the many way men are allowed to be depicted in his works? When asked on how Oda draws women, he explained how and sketched a bit. 2 lines and a set of circles on top. That is Oda's elusive drawing process when it comes to women. A pencil with tits. Oda is an incredibly talented writer. He's clearly passionate about what he does, and hey, he's good at it. I'm not saying that we should cancel Oda or anything like that, but I just wanted to bring attention to a lot of creators in the industry and what they may feel. Like I said before, I doubt he'll ever change it, especially since he has no respect for his female fans to begin with, but I still wanted to talk about it. What's your opinion? Do you like or hate the One Piece designs? Like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more content. I also want to add this a little last minute. This is why it is very imperative that we support female manga artists. I'm going to put a couple on screen. We support women everywhere, right? Alright guys, see you soon.